It's now my great pleasure to invite Dr. Pat Daly, Chief Executive, Limerick City and County Council, to the podium to give his key opening remarks on entrepreneurship as a driver of cities, regions and countries.
Thank you, Martin, and Minister O'Donnell, ambassadors, Chairman of Asia Matters, Mr. Alan Dukes, Chairman of Innovate Limerick, Mr. John Gleeson, Executive Director, Asia Matters, Mr. Martin Murray, VP Nigel Healy of UL, our event partner, councillors, guests from councils in Clare, Tipperary and indeed Limerick, and distinguished guests. It's great to have you here. I have a very simple job. Firstly, to welcome you here to the Engine Innovation Collaboration Lab, and if you get an opportunity during the session and the breakouts, I'm sure colleagues will be happy to show you around. It's an award-winning centre, and the whole idea is just to bring people together, is to bring industry with entrepreneurs, with the public and private sector to understand problems, to challenge problems and stress test solutions. There wasn't a space for this. It doesn't happen in other locations where people can come together, prospect together, think aloud together, and start looking at solutions to kind of major problems, both at an industry level, but even at a sectoral level and beyond international connections. So it's a very simple job to welcome you all here, and we've had a very, very pleasant day yesterday at the University of Limerick and in the afternoon in Northern Trust, and a very enjoyable networking evening, because at the heart of this it's networking and connecting. And we're delighted to have Martin and Chairman Alan, the Asia Matters team here, who've been wonderful to work with, and we've been delighted to be partnered with the University of Limerick in hosting the event, and we hope it's the first of many more, and certainly judging by the significant numbers of participants, I think that will be the case. The topic is a simple enough topic. Just a couple of comments, really more than anything: entrepreneurship as a driver of city, regions and countries. And at the heart of entrepreneurship is a desire to grow, is a desire to do new things and to make things better. I think Limerick and the Midwest is a great example of that. I'd like to think of Limerick and indeed the Midwest as a scaling capital of Ireland. We know they're start-up capitals, and indeed they are common in many countries, but I think the scaling capital idea hasn't really been touched on, except here in Limerick and the Midwest, where we bring people together to grow. And I think that is evidenced by the sheer numbers of opportunities that are coming, the investment levels, the quantum of job creation signals that Limerick has been in the forefront of job creation, and that has happened because of everybody in the room working together. And the secret sauce in Limerick and the Midwest, as I'm told by investors and advisors to investors, is the partnership that is present. And I'm sure the Minister will mention that we work very well together. One phone call gets you everywhere, and that is no lie. You will not get that in any other part of the country, and certainly I doubt if you get it internationally. The second part of driving innovation is the local authority, and indeed local authorities, I think, across the system in Ireland have tried to be more entrepreneurial. We're trying to be entrepreneurs in the public space. So when we are talking to entrepreneurs and investors, we have done many things. Here's an example, which is really a private-public collaboration area. We bought a former Dell factory that had ceased manufacturing and turned it into a film studios. And that has now been sold out to the private sector, and we did that a number of years ago, as an example of entrepreneurship in the public space. And indeed, many colleagues are here from across the local authorities in the area who are doing the very same thing. So I would think we're in a new shared environment for development, which is the public and private collaborating both at a leadership level and indeed at a sectoral level, and that's going to be very important. And I'd like to think Limerick is in the vanguard and leadership of that. And indeed, the Minister has brought through and about to sign the bill on the directly elected mayor for Limerick. And those that might have listened to the local radio this morning will have heard new candidates enter the fray. That'll be the first time Limerick will have an executive directly elected mayor who is another innovation of entrepreneurship in Limerick and indeed the Midwest and indeed Ireland. And I know the eyes, I'm not alone, of Ireland, but indeed internationally, are looking at Limerick of how this can grow and develop. We're really excited as a second act of entrepreneurship is internationalisation, which we have been on a quest to deliver. We have been probably very fortunate that we've had some very good relationships internationally, but we want to build our relationships with Asia, particularly Indonesia and particularly China. We've had good conversation with the ambassadors last night, and my colleagues and I will be working hard to make that happen, because if you are not growing and you're not internationalising, and indeed you're not looking at Asia, you are going to stagnate, and we recognise that, and we want to bring entrepreneurship from a place to a place, from a people to a people, and then get out of the way and let things happen. And that is the bridge we want to connect. So that is our view of entrepreneurship. To be entrepreneurial, you have to try and do things entrepreneurially yourself, and you have to create opportunities for entrepreneurs to get together, and this is what happens here in this fantastic lab. So I will leave it at that. I wish you all the best with the events today. I look forward to having a discussion with you during the day, and I hope you have a very, very good networking event. Thank you very much.